Electronic monitoring became mandatory in December for WA's most serious family and domestic violence offenders. But just a few months in, there's already issues. Yesterday, a Bunbury court being told the Department of Justice does not have the capacity to electronically monitor such offenders outside of Perth, despite it being a legal requirement. In the Goldfields region, refugees are disappointed by the admission.
It seems that, especially with the FDV reforms that are coming in, there's 4 pillars, and it's very obvious, and this is an example of that there is a discrimination between what's happening in the regional space and what's happening in the metro space.
The Premier says alleged offenders shouldn't be released if they can't be monitored.
Quite frankly, if the courts cannot make an arrangement whereby an accused serial domestic violence offender cannot be properly monitored, they need to be put behind bars. That's simply the fact of the matter.
He said limitations were anticipated under the legislation, with courts made aware of their power to make decisions about electronic devices. But the opposition says the legislation hasn't been properly enforced.
It is now clear that if you live in Bunbury, if you live in Kalgoorlie, if you're in Kununurra, you may not be afforded those same safety or those same protections.
Advocates say for alleged victims of family and domestic violence, monitoring devices provide a greater sense of safety, with concerns alleged victims in the regions are being let down without it.
If the victim survivor knows that there's that real-time monitoring of the perpetrator, such that if he does breach the conditions and starts to demonstrate, that he's making movement towards her home or to her workplace or even to the shopping centre, then police can act immediately.
In a statement, the Department of Justice said where practical limitations were identified, these will be raised in court, and that the department would not support the release of alleged domestic violence offenders if they pose an unacceptable risk. Courtney Withers, ABC News.